Hello and welcome to the 30s Comedy Podcast. My name is Clint. Hello.
Hi, Clint. My name is Marcus. Welcome back.
Hello, Marcus.
This is episode 8.
8. Damn.
Oh,
We made it past 7.
made it past 7.
We pushed through it.
7 is the breaking point, I
Mhm.
hear, for potties.
For potties, and we're not going to break.
We're not going to break.
We're not going to stop.
Our resolve has been strengthened after episode 7.
Maybe we'll tell people in real life. We won't tell them on the pod.
We'll see.
We'll see.
There's some setbacks, but we don't have to
Mhm.
talk about it.
You just got to keep going, people.
Just got to keep going.
Push through.
Yeah, push through. Speaking of pushing through, I know last time we talked about The Artist Way,
Mm-hmm.
this book you've already read, but I just started to read about fostering creativity. The subtitle is A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity. And I've only read the first part. I haven't dove into too much of it. It's over the course of 12 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's 8 weeks, 12 weeks. And yeah, this book is pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Just the prep, because the first part's just kind of prepping you for what's going to happen. And from just the prep alone, I'm very inspired. And I just said it before, but my resolve has been strengthened
There it is.
to create and to foster my sleeping artistic talents.
Yeah, because
And
it's in there.
it's
Your
in
little
there.
Artist is in there.
It's in there, and the way that this author explains it and how she says what's going to happen to you, it's pretty cool. And I
Mhm.
actually believe it. I don't think I'm not like, oh fuck this, like, because it's spiritual, so that could throw you off too.
Right. So yeah, like, have you? Yeah, because I really like how she starts off with a contract.
Yes, yeah.
To sign the contract, I insert your name here. Understand that I am undertaking an intensive, guided encounter with my own creativity. I commit myself to the 12-week duration of the course. I commit to weekly reading, daily pages, weekly artist date, the fulfillment of each week's tasks. Have you thought about your artist date?
I have. So when you explained the artist date to me last time, that sounded kind of lame.
Mhm.
But the way that she explained it, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because you had explained it as something for your inner child. And she does say that, she does use that verbiage to describe it a little bit, but
Mhm.
more about just doing something for yourself. Because the inner child thing, I don't want to,
Yeah.
I still kind of play around with that all the time. But just about going and doing. Remember, we've talked about it before on the pod, where your life's just gonna keep going, and like you have to do things
Right.
because don't. How do I say this? Just you want to go to that museum, just go to it. Don't
Mhm.
think about like, oh, the drive sucks, whatever. Because that's usually my barriers. Is like I don't want to, because everything that I want to do is in LA, which is there's traffic and
Yeah.
it just sucks. And my hurdles are always like, I just don't want to drive. But like the way that she explains it, or what you're going to get out of it, is just like, just suck up the reasons why you're not going to go and just go do it. Because who knows what's going to happen too? You could get in a car crash on the way home.
Yeah. She talks about how Steven Spielberg claims that his very best ideas have come to him as
While
he
he's
was driving the freeways. And I'm like, that happens to me all the time.
Happens to me all the time. I think of the best jokes when I'm driving. I think of the best comebacks too, because I'm
Yeah.
always arguing with people. I think of the best material when I'm driving, and I think I'm going to start recording myself when I drive, because I'll have full conversations with myself.
Yeah.
I'll play out back and forths, both parts in my head, or even verbally. I'll do that in the car. And I think I'm going to start recording myself, because I do a lot of driving, for work. And that could also help with going to do these weekly dates, because
Yeah.
for me, 90% of them are going to be in LA. So I'm going to have to be driving, but
Mhm.
I can just put my phone on and record. while I'm
Hell yeah,
driving.
dude. And because when I record myself, it makes me feel like I'm actually it's like recording this. Like it feels like, oh, I have a purpose for talking out loud
Mhm.
instead of just feeling like I'm talking to myself. If I'm talking to my phone, it's like, oh, that's kind of like I'm talking to something or like a person. So I can kind of focus on speaking to where like it's interesting,
Right.
instead of just rambling and then
Yeah. Yeah. Also, you talked about that contract. I didn't sign that contract
Ooh.
yet. However, I wrote my own contract.
Oh, good.
Because an exercise in this book is called morning pages, or it's called morning pages. Basically, first thing you do in the morning, or maybe not the first thing, but just part of your day when you're getting started, is just to write 3 pages of anything, whatever comes to mind. Just jot it down. And the first thing that came to mind on my first day doing the weekly pages was a contract about just doing this every day and holding myself accountable for not just the morning pages. It was just, working on my creativity. Daily is kind of hard because of, I work a lot, but at least a couple hours a week, just totally focused on that.
Yeah.
So where it becomes, part of that. I see it as a job also now. Is like, I have to do this every day. Or at least, like I said, every week, a couple hours every week. And it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the way that she talks about God? Like, some of it's
how
kinda
God is a
interesting to
creator,
me.
or creativity is God, is not an actual
Yeah, like
deity.
it's not like some, like when she talks about God, it's not like some big guy up in a cloud. It's like, this is where creativity comes from.
I've heard that before from other artists throughout the years about finding, I think that's why it's called a spiritual path, about finding God through art. This has a center of it's. I don't know how to. I'm not an expert, so I don't know, but through creating something, you find a certain piece of yourself. Obviously, because it came from you, but also you learn a lot about yourself through creating any kind of art, not just writing, painting, whatever your thing is. If you've heard any artists who do that as a living or whatever, they do say that, like, that they do find themselves in their art.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think she's right. Again, I've heard that before from other people, so I wasn't really struck too much by it, but I think it's true. One of the, especially now when we can, with the internet, you're always going to have a footprint of something you created when you're gone too. Like these are online, these podcasts, and who knows where they'll end up. But maybe in like 150 years, someone could unearth these online, because they're all uploaded somewhere, multiple places, by the way.
Whoa.
You can find us on Spotify and YouTube, and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts
It should be there. I just don't use Apple.
Yeah, but we love Apple.
Thank you for iPhone.
Thank you, Apple. But yeah, who knows? Like in 150 years, this could be unearthed somewhere, and it'll be like, oh, this was your contribution to the world. Like that's in. Like you think about it with actors and stuff too, and you see these old movies, and wonder what they would think that in 80 years, whenever the golden age, those movies, golden age of Hollywood. I don't know if they ever thought in 80 plus years that we'd be watching some of their stuff, and that's like kind of a crazy thought to wrap your head around. That once you're gone, your stuff you create's always going to be around unless it's destroyed or lost.
And film's only been around for like 100 years.
Yeah, and back to
that's the weird part.
Thinking about God through art, like that is a way I think to kind of think about it, is that you are creating, just like if you're thinking about God in like the Abrahamic sense, or just any religion that has a God, they created us, So it's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, and that's why I love movies, because a movie is it's like when you're making the movie, it's a documentary of like the time that you're making the movie first, and then it's whatever the ideas that came in, and just all the groups of people that come in to help make it. It's like, and then you might get some idea that day, and it's like, well, where'd that idea come from? Like, oh, my head.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice to say like, oh, like that's a God thought, or like that's inspiration from God, because it's like, well, I didn't have this before,
Right.
and now it's here. It's like how did I get here?
Yeah. It is like go back to movies. Like you worked at WB for a little bit. When you see those behind the scenes, whatever context, that's really cool. You see the finished product. That's the creation. That's great. But then when you see everything that went into it and everyone that touched that movie in some way, like the grips, the boom, like all of the crew. I love the crews in movies. I wish that they got more time to shine. You get to see what they do. But that's, all those hands creating that one product. Like, and especially if you go back and see older movies, like pre-70s, it's kind of hard to find that stuff. But like 70s, 80s, 90s, and you watch some behind the scenes stuff, and you're like, whoa, like all those people created this thing that's still going. Like people still watch it, like Jurassic Park. That's fresh in my mind. So I've seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff on Jurassic Park, and like people will find old footage that they thought lost, and they'll just throw it online, and you're like, holy shit, that's how they did that thing. And like, who knows if the crew's still alive? I'm sure a lot of them, or a good amount of them, may have died from illnesses or whatever.
Yeah.
They're just not around anymore. But to see like that stuff, and that their product is still being watched today, and like especially like Jurassic Park, people have been watching that for years.
Yeah, it's gonna be watched forever.
Yeah, and to know
especially
that
the first one.
See that like the different crew that touched it, created it. It's pretty awesome. I don't want to forget this, so I'm going to say it now. It has nothing to do with art.
This is about what happened before.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so something happened to you when we were at Starbucks.
Well, we were at Starbucks right before recording, but I got there first, and I was turning into the parking lot, and to set it up, I'm turning left at a left light. Starbucks is on my left-hand side. I'm turning into that parking lot. On the right-hand side, adjacent to me, there's an urgent care. And I'm at a four-way stop, so everyone stop. So there's a lady crossing the street who is not well. I don't know if her back is broken. I don't know.
No.
She's hunched all the way over. Yeah, I'll give you a visual.
Quasimodo?
Yeah.
This is for you too.
No, not even quasi. So you're watching. She's like this.
Oh my god.
She looks like that, and she's hunched over a shopping cart, some kind of cart to carry her things. And so when I first see her, I'm like, oh, maybe she's just looking in her cart for something, because she's on the end. I get to the stoplight when she's on the very end of the crosswalk. So you'd already crossed the street. It's like, oh, maybe she's looking in her cart for something. And then I see her fall over, like onto her ass and then onto her back. And I was like, oh, fuck. So the first thing I thought, was get my phone out, because I was going to call 911, but for like 10 seconds, I was like, I should just record this and throw it up online. Be like, day drinking, right? Something stupid like that.
Poor lady.
But yeah, she gets, I'm giving it like a minute or two, just, I don't want to call 911, whatever. And there's an urgent care across the street, and her arm is bandaged too. She has her arm wrapped up in a bandage. So I'm guessing she just left the urgent care. She gets back up, but she's still hunched over, and then she goes across the other way. Like she's making an L. She's crossing one way and going the other way. And she's going across the crosswalk. And I'm just watching her because it's to the left of me.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, what should I do? Like, I'm really going back and forth with like, should I call 911? Should I not?
Should I keep filming?
There's a bunch of cars out there, so she's being watched by a lot of people, and I'm like, maybe someone else already called 911. And there's the urgent care across the street. She was just in there. They wrapped her arm and they sent her ass back out. And I was like, nope, you guys can't keep this broken woman inside the urgent care, or call an ambulance, take her to a hospital, And it's hot outside. Like, she's clearly a homeless, crazy lady. Like, maybe she's heat stroke or something. I don't know. And yeah, she just went on her way, and then I turned left to go into the Starbucks, and I went behind the building so I don't see her anymore. And then that's when you had went to the Starbucks first, and then you came in, and I went to go see if I could see her on the street. I walked back out of Starbucks to see where she went, and she was gone. So I don't know if she collapsed somewhere else or what. But this made me think, like, so many people saw this lady, and I don't know if they were thinking the same things I were of, like, should I film it or should I call 911? But I don't know. Like, I didn't do anything. I don't really feel bad about that.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I should. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
I just kept thinking, like, someone else is going to take care of this.
If it's right by the urgent care,
That's the thing that was throwing me, because
that's a whole.
her
other
arm
part
was
of it.
wrapped up.
Mhm.
She clearly, she didn't have that wrapping for her arm. She must have been in that urgent care and to get it wrapped, and then they just sent her out. So it's like, you guys are medical professionals, and you sent this crazy bitch back onto the streets, who's clearly not well.
Yeah.
Like, she can't even stand up. And that's why I didn't call 911. I think it was just like, what are they going to do? Just
Now, what if you brought her? What if you helped her and you got her all the way back in there, and they're like,
we'll send her right back. Yeah,
back.
dude. What if that was her reaction?
Debbie again?
Yeah.
I thought we got rid of you.
God, fuck. Like, Debbie, you're in here again? Fucking Donkey Deb is back with a broken back.
You just can't learn, can you, Donkey
Yeah.
Deb?
God,
Damn it, Deb.
I don't want to really talk about it too much, because it's just, I can still see her, like,
It's so sad.
like, it sucks. But I also don't want to not tell you guys.
Yeah,
So
the audience.
yeah, the audience. Oh, fuck. But it just, if you had saw that lady, what would you have done?
It's a weird dilemma, because you are right in front of the urgent care.
I think if it was anywhere else, I probably would have immediately, with not recording the lady, again, I would have had that, like, 5-second battle of, do I record or do I call? I probably would have called 911.
Yeah.
Just been like, hey, I'm on the corner of, Mike and Coffee. And there's a lady in the street who's bent over.
That's a good podcast title.
Coffee and Mike.
The corner. I'm on the
Corner of Coffee and Mike.
corner of Coffee and Mike.
But yeah, hopefully she's okay, or
Mhm.
someone picked her up, like police maybe saw her. I don't know. Somebody saw her and was like, this woman needs to be treated, and not at that urgent care that threw her ass back out on the
Yeah.
curb.
We need more help.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp Counseling.
We love BetterHelp. We love
We
BetterHelp.
love BetterHelp.
Yeah.
For
Hopefully-
when you're your own crazy lady and
Yeah.
you feel like you're not getting enough help.
And we all feel like that sometimes.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like a crazy lady sometimes. I felt like a crazy lady in that fucking parking,
Yeah.
parking intersection, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm all frazzled now. I can't even think
Ugh.
straight.
I saw something that I wanted to take a picture of, but I didn't. It was like 8 Amazon Prime trucks, like all at a stoplight together.
Oh,
I wanted to be like
some kind of.
me and the buddies going to see Minions.
Oh,
Me and my gentle minions.
I would have had.
Have you seen the trend where people were
They wear suits, right?
wearing suits?
Yeah, I don't really get it. Is that
something
like
my brother would?
is
my
it part
brother
of the-
Brett would do?
part of the movie? I haven't seen any of those Despicable Me movies. We went on that ride at Universal Studios. I didn't know what the hell was going on. But is that a thing in the movie, wearing suits?
Well, no.
Oh.
Gru, the main bad guy villain dad. He wears like a villain clothes, like gray.
Oh, yeah.
And his scarf. Gru and the Minions.
Oh, yeah.
And no, it was just some TikTok kid.
Does it explain why
Group of TikTok kids.
he talks like that?
Why he does the voice?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What
I think he
accent is
just-
that?
It sounds like sort of Russian.
Okay.
We're going to steal the moon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can hear
The
the
girls. Yeah.
hear
It's
the
kind of
Russian in
Russian,
there.
Hungarian,
Yeah.
Ukrainian.
Those that Eastern
Yeah,
European.
Eastern Europe.
Yeah. We call that sewer talk. They have that aggressive, like, you hear
What
them
are
talk.
you doing? Get
Yeah.
off my back.
And you hear it, you're like,
Move.
ugh. You hear that accent.
Sweat. Man,
Maybe
we
that's just
wanna get
me.
a fight. Maybe you think it's sewer talk. I wouldn't say that to them.
No, I wouldn't say that.
You
to
speak
them.
sewer talk.
I'd wait until they
You
were gone, and then I
freak.
would tell everyone else, like, fucking sewer mouse. So I saw a movie yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was the new Thor movie.
Ooh, Thor.
Thor, yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
It was fine. It's I think fine is the perfect way to put it.
Mhm.
'Cause I'm kind of over all the Marvel shit. It's
Yeah.
a little I'm not that the movies. I don't think that the quality has necessarily dipped compared to like the other movies. I think I'm just enough. Like, there's so much, and there's a new one. There's this if you include the TV shows,
Mm-hmm.
the Disney Plus shows, which you have to watch if you want to be caught up on the stories because they're all kind of connected. I think we've had enough.
Yeah, I think we could do a break. I think
Or I think
Kevin Feige is like, no breaks.
no breaks. We're gonna
6
keep going. Like
shows.
we're gonna keep going. There's like 30 movies or whatever it
Filled
is.
with
Something crazy.
content.
It's just like I think we're done.
Like
And
it's like a comic book store now because
Yeah.
I used to collect comic books, but it would come out so frequently that I couldn't
yeah, you
keep
can't
up
keep up.
after a
And
certain point, and that's how the content feels now.
yeah, it's also. I think we're just looking at it because it's been part of our lives, which is a weird thing to say. It's been part of our lives for so long that it's like, all right,
Yeah.
it's time to move on. We can't keep doing this forever. And it's not just. I know it's not just me that feels that way because it was opening day and that theater was not packed, and those theaters used to get packed opening days, opening weekends. It was always packed, and there were plenty of seats in that bitch
Yeah.
yesterday. And speaking of seats,
You know what theater was packed?
wait, let me do my seat thing first.
Oh yeah.
So-
So when you do something specific when you go to the movies.
I do something kind of specific when I go to the movies. I like to go to the movies alone. I'll go with somebody else too, but I do like to go to the movies alone. And I'll buy 2 seats so that no one sits next to me,
Oh my god.
which hopefully you guys will let me know if that's psychotic or if that's understandable.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't want anyone to sit next to me in the movie theater. I want some, like a rando to plop themselves right next to you in the movie theater.
And-
It's already
yeah.
awkward enough.
And you know that those people will have like no shame.
Yeah,
And they won't see all the open seats, and they'll still sit by you.
or they'll just be weird,
and
or
talk
they'll
the whole
smell funny, or they'll be eating popcorn or nachos. People order nachos in a movie theater, and they're just crunching away during the. What the fuck are like even
I
when they order
think
chips?
That's not a good movie food.
Anything that has a wrapper too. That that's all the time in the movies. Why are we selling out candies with these wrappers in them? Like you can't think of like maybe put it in like a tin.
Yeah.
No one's thought of that yet.
Some noise reduction.
You heard it here first, guys. I'm going to patent tins in
Tins.
movie theaters. That way, it's also recyclable.
Ooh,
I think.
patent pending.
Tins. Anyway, so I did it for Thor. I bought 2 seats, and I didn't really get called out, but the ticket taker, whatever they're called, was like, "Oh, this is for 2," and I was like, "Yeah, they're not going to make it." And she was like, "Okay, well, do you want a refund for the other seat?" And of course, I want a refund for the seat, but I also because it's reserved seating. If you get a refund, that seat becomes
Mhm.
available again.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So my dumbass was like, "Can I do it after the movie?" And she kind of paused and was like, "Yeah, I guess." So I watched the movie, and then on the way out, she was still at the ticket taking stool because you're just sitting on a stool out
Yeah.
there for hours. And I looked at her, and she looked at me, and we made eye contact, and then I just kept walking outside.
Oh god.
I probably could have went and got that refund still, and now I have a way around the system.
Yeah.
so I don't
Would
tell everybody.
anybody on the pod do that
Yeah,
in real life?
It's
like
not that
that.
crazy, is it?
I don't. It just seems like a lot of effort if you went to go and then get the refund.
I mean, getting the 2 seats so no one sits next to you. It's
Yeah.
not that weird.
I mean, I get that.
yeah,
I do.
yeah, you get that.
I don't even like when people are sitting in front of me sometimes.
I don't like when they're behind me.
I don't like when they're
I-
near. I loved the COVID spacing.
Oh yeah, I didn't go to a movie theater during
Yeah.
like height COVID, so
Yeah.
I went after it was kind of back to normal. But you had
It
to wear
was
your
great.
mask in between eating.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Yeah, that was
But yeah, I don't think it's that weird. We all need personal space.
Mhm.
Yeah, the movie was fine. It was just fine.
just fine. I saw someone say that Thor is becoming like the Jack Sparrow of
Oh.
Marvel, where he's just kind of floating around everywhere. I get that.
Yeah, I guess so. I can see that. This is the 4th Thor movie. Yeah, Thor
Yeah.
4. So that's
Thor,
a lot.
Thor 4.
Thor 4. Not Gore 4.
Gore.
Thor 4.
There's some people who are a little too obsessed with gore.
Yeah. Some people.
Some people are upset that there's no gore toy in the McDonald's Happy Meal.
Yeah, it's called a Thor Love and Thunder, not Gore Love and Thunder. You dumbass.
Put that on a shirt.
My God. Oh, you went to a Dodger game.
Yeah, I went on Filipino night.
Okay. Tell me about before you got to the game.
Yeah. So before,
Okay.
I
I want to
up-
know the entire experience.
Yeah, I met up at my friend Michael Luigi's house. I call him my uncle because he's like 10 years older than me and worked at Disneyland with me. So, and I knew some of his friends because I went to his house for the Super Bowl party this year because most of them like the Rams. And we carpooled there, no traffic. And what we did is we went to Union Station to get onto a shuttle because they have free shuttles going from Union Station to the Dodgers Stadium, which I think that's a lifesaver because the traffic to get inside the stadium once you're in like that Echo Park
It's a
area
nightmare.
is,
Everything
atrocious.
around Dodger Stadium
yeah.
sucks.
I used to live in Echo Park, like close enough to walk there. But even then, it's like if I was going to like park down that way, you'd still walk so far. So having the shuttle, it brings you right up to where you have to scan your ticket.
Yeah.
And I got a free jersey
Ooh.
for Polynesian night.
Okay, so was it Filipino night or Polynesian?
Well,
night?
you say the same thing, yeah.
Okay, well they're not the same.
Poly-
One is part
Polynesian.
of the other.
Yeah, well, it was specifically Filipino
Okay. All right.
because they had the Philippines flag on the
Okay,
jerseys.
Yeah. As a Polynesian myself,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's not all the same.
Yeah,
It's under like
Polynesian,
one
is that
bracket.
that's like an umbrella term,
Yeah,
Polynesian?
different islands are
Mhm.
considered Polynesian, but then the islands, obviously, the cultures
Yeah.
are different. There's some similarities between islands, but they're different.
Mhm.
But Filipino night or Polynesian.
Yeah,
night,
it was
whatever
pretty cool. It's cool going on a heritage night.
They have different foods, or is it just
Not really,
okay?
just $20 beer. Ugh.
What kind of beer is it?
Disgusting.
At least Bud
I'm
Lights,
just
Coors,
basic. Yeah. Modelo.
Damn.
Ugh.
the same fucking 2 or 3 lagers, and then a Mexican beer,
Yeah.
Mexican lager. Which all taste the same. By
The exact reasons to not drink.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
the way.
There's no way to make that better.
Yeah.
20 no. Just watch the game. But by the time we sat down, Dodgers were already winning by a lot. It was like 4-0.
Okay.
So it wasn't much of a game.
You stay for the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And we-
well, yeah, the shuttle. Yes, it's
Yeah.
fine.
So yeah, the shuttle,
Right.
and then we had food in Roland Heights.
Oh,
Yeah.
what kind of food?
Um,
Filipino food?
I think it was. I don't remember that part as much. I do remember eating a lot.
Yeah.
I think it was Filipino food. I couldn't. Yeah, I don't know specifically. I might need to
Okay.
ask my friend where that was.
What did we eat?
What did we eat? I don't even remember what it was.
Don't
I
ask.
just said yes, please. Number 10. Thank you. But I like it. But so you know how you have those friends that
I don't have any friends.
well,
but
so
go ahead.
think of if you had friends.
Okay.
So if you had friends, sometimes you have friends, quotation mark,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't like physically talk to them, like you don't ever
Like
see them.
acquaintances who
Yeah.
you're friendly with.
Yeah. So there's
Okay.
one where this one acquaintance it's like, oh, I would have loved to go. Like, let's go sometime. And I'm like, okay, person I haven't talked to in like 10 years.
Mhm.
And not that I wouldn't want to talk to said person. I'd be down.
How did they
But
greet
it's so
you?
weird. It was friend. I wanted to go.
Friend.
First of all,
Friend.
friend.
That's an aggressive greeting after 10 years of no contact.
Yeah.
Friend.
I mean, liking each other's photos, you see each other's stories, so you kind of get a gist of what they're up to.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can make it happen. We could be real friends. But come on.
You gotta give it time.
Yeah, like let's think
you
about
can't just
this.
claim to be friends until you are friends.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause that's kind of
interesting.
that's around sort of around fan territory.
Yeah.
Like you're a fan of me. I'm a fan of your Insta stories. Not that I'm special.
Friend.
Friend? though? Friend? Hey, yeah, let's do it.
That's an
Sure.
interesting way to put it, a fan of you, because if it's someone, now that I think about it, I do also have some people who I have on social media who I don't talk to, but I've
Yeah.
met years and years ago, and you just kind of find them online, so you follow them,
Mm-hmm.
and you see that they see your stuff, especially if you post stories, you can see it. So you see like, oh, this person looked at it, what the fuck? And then sometimes they'll like your photos. And then it's like, are you a fan at that point?
Yeah,
You're watching what I'm doing.
because friends, I mean, followers, like
Yeah.
you follow people.
Right. But if you
like
see their stuff,
define the relationship.
yeah, it's not friend.
We're not friends. But I'd like I'm not saying I don't want to be friends.
Yeah.
I would.
Mm.
That'd be fine.
Do
I
you
have
have
time.
any internet friends?
Like ones that I've only met on the internet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
It really started back at Disney because I would post photos
Yeah.
of the park. So then you get like the Disney fans that would like it.
Yes.
Then they start following you. And then it would be weird. Well, because it's Disney, then there's a chance that you could actually see them in real life. So I did end up meeting them in real life at some point. But even now, like, it gets random.
It's interesting. I have some internet friends too, who a couple I have met in real life.
Yeah.
After becoming internet friends. Yeah, it's a weird concept because of social media, but also like I've met or become friends with content creators who I've followed their stuff on either YouTube or Twitch or even Instagram too. And then you just kind of like, hey, you talk to them a little bit on there. You don't slide in the DMs because that's weird and gross, but just be like, you just comment on like a YouTube video, or if they're on Twitch, you comment in the chat or on Instagram and be like, good job. And then sometimes they write back, and then you start up like a conversation sometime. Like,
So is that how you do it?
that's how I do it.
Is
So
that probably the best technique for becoming internet friends?
yeah, so full disclosure, I I just said it, but I have some internet friends who that's how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
Who I consider friends, and I'm pretty sure they would feel the same. But yeah, I think we've talked about this before on the pod, where you just reach out to whoever, and if they don't write back, they don't write back. But if they do, that's cool, and sometimes that goes somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so all the friends that I've made online, that's how it happened. I would comment on a project or anything that they didn't, just saying like, good job. Or like, I really liked the way you did this, or we talked about this. And then they respond, the ones that I'm friends with. And ones I'm not really friends with either, still respond sometimes, but you just kind of strike up it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird thing. Like I've bought art from an Etsy store before, and the artist went out of the way to send me a message saying, "Oh, thanks for purchasing this thing." And I'll write back like, "Oh yeah, that's my favorite character on that shirt." Blah blah blah, and then you start talking about that character and why you like it, and that turned into a friendship.
Oh,
and I never met that dude, but we were good. Like we talk occasionally online, and like I consider him a friend. Yeah, that is a weird kind of boundary internet friend and
Yeah.
friend IRL friend. Yeah, because they're both. I consider them the same, but they're also different. It's just like, I wouldn't necessarily tell them if something amazing happened in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But you still talk.
Yeah. There are some times when I see something and I'm like, oh, I need to say something to this person.
Yeah.
Oh, that's freaking cool.
Yeah.
So I want to tell them, like, that looks cool.
Yeah.
So then technically you're in the DMs if you like comment on a story.
Yeah. If you comment, that.
So I guess
that
I
goes
do
to
that.
DM. Yeah.
But I try to be careful. I'm always trying to be like
As long as you're
uplifting
not-
about it.
as long as you're
and
not weird.
creepy, yeah.
I know that if anyone, the comments that I get about this podcast, I like them. Like I'm happy to hear them. Makes me feel good when I hear them.
Yeah.
Criticisms too. The fact that you're talking about it to me feels good.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like not responsible to do that for the creators that you like, but kind of, if you like something, tell them. If you don't like it, you don't have to tell them you don't like it, because that's just kind of rude. But or if you want to do that, say, hey, I liked this, but this part, whatever.
Yeah, and only if they're like egging at you to give them some kind of criticism.
Well,
'Cause
yeah.
sometimes I will be. I'll be like, don't mess with me. Do I look bald? That's what I did at the barbershop yesterday. I was like, look, Claudio, just look at me. What can we do? And he's like, I'll figure something out.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Claudio. He's like, just sit back.
I'll figure something out.
I trust you.
Like, oh, so there's something to figure out then.
So there's something.
What are you trying to say?
Am I messed up? Am I broken? So I'm willing to just shave it all off.
I think it looks fine.
I think you did good. I think, yeah.
You see what you want to see anyway. So
Yeah.
what I see is not what you see, and it's never going to
Mhm.
be that way anyway. So
Oh.
I have my own insecurities that nobody notices
Yeah.
except for me. I'm like, oh fuck, I have a weird looking thumbs.
Immediately.
Somebody told me a couple years ago that I had sausage fingers.
Sausage finger?
Yeah, and that never came to mind at all. I never would have thought anything about my fingers. But then,
Compared to mine are like bony almost
Yeah.
compared to yours.
but I've also, after that happened, I've asked other people, like, do I have sausage fingers? And they're like, you kind of do. But like, oh, I never saw that. But I guess now everyone else sees it.
Yeah.
Or I know that
Now the audience knows.
the audience knows I've got sausage fingers.
God. Wow.
Sausage fingers. Oh,
What
fuck.
else to disclose?
Wait a minute. There was something else I wanted to say about internet creators. Fuck. Whatever. It's gone. It's gone.
It'll come back.
How's your comedy writing coming
So-
along?
The other day, I went through old notebooks to see what I've got. I found this one from 2019.
Yes.
And it was a time when I was on fire. I was going out doing stuff, and like I'm pretty confident about almost everything in these pages. It was like all this creative energy that was leading up to like making things, and then COVID hit. And so it was like, oh, I guess I can't do any of this now. But I like some of this. What is a crime is too? Oh, because I was trying to create a sketch about a Florida man character.
Okay.
Like when a crime is too ridiculous for normal cops to handle, they call Florida man.
Is this in
Yeah.
reference to, you can like Google like
Mhm.
Florida
Yeah,
man,
like Florida
then-
man.
Yeah, and then all kinds of crazy shit comes out.
Yeah, I wrote that for my friend Wes because he's from Florida.
Okay. Florida's not that crazy. Have you been to Florida?
Yeah, it's
It's
just
not that
it's
crazy.
just a little moist. It's not so bad.
I didn't have a crazy experience in Florida. And I went to Disney World and to Tampa Bay, and it wasn't that crazy. That was fine.
Yeah, it's just the news.
Yeah.
Just when news breaks, and you're
Yeah.
like, I guess they're all crazy there.
I know you hear one story about a man eating fucking batteries or something, like Floridians eat batteries. Like that was one person ate the battery. They don't all eat batteries.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like the Tide Pod thing. Then they would have to
Oh,
do a
yeah.
disclaimer.
Or they
Like,
kept,
you really can't eat them.
yeah, or put them behind a cage again.
Mm.
It's people- Well, do you remember that? They
Tide
put them in
Pods.
cages.
Just so people wouldn't take them?
People were
Try to
eating
eat
them
them?
because it was getting so much press that it became a thing that like they'll stop talking about it. People will stop doing it.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, because this was the beginning of this book. I had there's a lot about dogs. If dog food tasted better, would it be part of our diet? Dogs want our food. Dogs reminiscing. If because it was. Let's see. Do you think animals get mad when we appropriate their culture?
I'm just gonna guess and say no.
What if? Oh, this is good. Because I like to write about churchy stuff, and so I was writing about heaven.
That's perfect. 'Cause I love hearing about churchy
Yeah.
stuff.
What if? What if mispronouncing Jesus' name kept you from getting into heaven?
Give me an
Sorry,
example of how you would say it.
Like, what if you were like Jesus, and they're like, nope,
But that's not wrong.
it's not wrong, but they'd be like, nope,
But
that's not it.
this is white Jesus.
Because there's a lot of religious
English
people
speaking
who
Jesus.
they make it very like you need to say that you believe in Jesus. You have to use the specific word. And you have to believe in
Really?
the specific person. Yeah, you have to believe in Jesus to be saved. They're
Do you
so
think-
focused on the name and the words coming out of your mouth, and I'm always like, well, what if people don't ever hear the word of God? What if people grow up with some other version? What if they
Isn't
they
it
die?
said differently most places?
Yeah.
Like
So-
even the origin or that what's it called? Jerusalem? That's the name of it, right? Or
Mhm.
I'm sure they don't say Jesus,
They don't.
and they didn't say that if he was real. They didn't say Jesus. Probably they didn't call it
They
Yeshua
didn't
or
say
something.
that even back then when he was alive.
Yeah, they had a different name for him, right?
Yeah.
Or Yahweh, something
Yahweh,
like that. Yeah.
So then, what if getting into heaven was a 10-second acting audition? So you get up there, and they're like, "Give us your best shot," and then suddenly they're
Give us
like,
an acting reel.
"Yeah, give us your best take." So you're dead. You're up here. Why should we take you?
If you do any work in casting, you would know that nobody's getting into heaven.
No one's getting They're not. Sorry, you don't have the right look we want.
They
That's
loved
very
everything. Yeah, for a sketch. So if we make that a sketch,
Yeah.
we can do it like actual, like an agent giving you feedback and be like, so they liked everything about you. They loved your reading. They loved how much you helped dogs and what you did for children. But you have red hair. They're going to go in another direction.
They have a bit too many people with
Yeah.
red hair right now.
They're going to go in
they're
another
not looking for
direction.
that. So you have to spend some time down there.
they,
Just spend a little bit of time.
they drop your ass into purgatory.
Which is how it feels, I'm sure, when you're like from gig to gig, and then there's
Yeah.
that big span of having no job.
They do it too, where they compliment you. They already made the agents specifically like the answer is no, but they're gonna give you all this bullshit first. So like, you were great. You have a nice face. Good mustache. You enunciate your words perfectly, but they're not gonna hire you. It's like, well, what?
And why
Aren't they hiring me then?
Yeah.
It's
why'd they even look at me?
and it'd be so funny if that was if we made a sketch about
Yeah.
Jesus, or not, I don't even know who would be on because you ever been to casting? It's not just one person. There's multiple people who you're giving your thing to. It's like what would the committee be on the
I
other
think it'd
side of
be-
that table?
Well, it'd be the Angels.
Oh, Angels.
So Angels would
okay.
be like the casting director. And
Yeah.
they're like, Jay,
Could be-
Mr. Christ he's looking for a specific
but
type.
it's just Jesus, and he's just got like
He's
sunglasses,
quiet.
and he's silent, and you just see the angels like. Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
whispering.
Do it again. But
Did you see what they did right there?
be a little looser this time. And then like, yeah. We'll see the next one.
Yeah, and then different people come in,
Yeah.
and there's like the obvious like churchy type person
Mm-hmm.
who like even that they don't like. They're like,
But I thought
Yeah.
Your reading was a little off. So back to Purgatorio.
Go back. Next. they just look at them and then they don't even give them a chance to audition.
They've got like their best, like I'm with Jesus hat, like they're holding like a Jesus fish. They're just like, oh my god, that can go somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Hell yeah. I think I'm gonna work on that sketch too.
Get going. Yeah, because I think I had that idea once because it's slightly based off of a part in South Park where they're like they're at hell and they're like, oh well, the right answer was Mormonism. Like, man, that would just that'd be a bummer.
There's
if you
so
just
many
picked the wrong one.
Yeah, there's so many scenarios where if there is like a afterlife, heaven, hell, all that, where it could be like, oh, this is not what we thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I always wonder, would I like that though?
Yeah, it could be.
Like the other thing I thought of the other day is like because I'm single, what if like you get up there and like
You hear that, everyone? He's single.
So so then what if you get up there and they're like, well, you screwed up all your relationships, so you're gonna just be alone up here too, because everyone else has their own significant others. Like that sounds pathetic. I can't get anybody here, and I couldn't even get them in heaven.
Well, they're like,
And then hell is just like more people like that, or just they're never gonna get somebody.
or they relate. You screwed up all your relationships, and we don't want you to screw up this one either. So you can't even come in.
Trying to mess us up.
Open a trap door. Fall
no,
into purgatory.
no, we don't need your type here. We're gonna keep this nice.
And
Nice
for some
chicken.
reason, there's probably still like late fees up
Yeah.
there too. You're like, late fees.
Wait, did I just get charged for that?
Yeah.
God, throw me some slack.
Like, I don't know what you were expecting.
Like, look, you can't just be watching TV the whole time you're up here.
There is no Netflix and chill up here. They make you go to work still up there.
Oh, what if they made you work in heaven?
How do you
What
think
would
we run
do?
this place? Yeah, it's not all me.
It's not just me doing it. I don't just get to say, hey, let there be light.
If I had a heaven job, I don't know. It wouldn't be bartending.
I know that it would just be. I have a fear that I would get sick of it.
It's just cyclical.
Whatever,
It's just this
yeah.
again. Like there's no heaven or hell. You're just born back on earth.
You're just bored again.
Yeah. And every once in a while someone figures it out, but no one believes them. It's like, you guys, this is just the sequel. Like we're just doing it again. And
Sequel.
Yeah, and they're like-
Heaven is just the sequel of whatever you did.
yeah, it's like it's endless. It's not. There is no after anything. It just happens again.
And some people would love that. Some people, 'cause
Yeah,
some
if you had a
people
good life.
they get really hyped about heaven. They
You
get
know who wouldn't
yeah.
love it? That lady I saw outside. The lady with the bent back. She's like, fuck.
Well,
I thought
'cause-
collapsing in that street and dying would be better, but I'm back.
Well, because what they tell you is there's no pain, there's no sickness in heaven, there's no diseases.
Right. Which sounds awesome.
It sounds great. Yeah.
It's a great sales
Yeah.
pitch.
So then I guess I wouldn't have to wear contact lenses.
Mm-hmm.
I guess not. But then it's like, oh, you fix all your problems.
Yeah.
Just sitting around now. Is that all we do? Do I get to eat food? I don't get to eat food. Remember how nice food was?
Yeah.
Remember how that
Yeah,
was?
you can't even eat.
Don't need food up there.
I love food.
Yeah.
I'm starving right now.
Yeah.
Can't wait to eat some food. Oh boy. Jesus, man.
Jesus.
The wild character.
One of my favorite things I wrote in this book. I mean, it's kind of just for me. It's if the Bible is a self-help book, then why does it just make me feel so sad?
That's a good one.
That's my favorite thing. I
Yeah.
think I've
Keep
written.
that in your act
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah,
writing
that's
an act.
definitely like that would describe the whole the whole hour. It's just like so sad. Some people get so happy about it that like they'll
Yeah.
read it and they're like, yes, yeah, I'm encouraged. I'm just like,
Ugh.
again, man, I just
And they
not gonna
all
figure this out.
burned?
And they're all gone again. He could screw up like this and he's still the king?
He has how many concubines?
How come we don't keep doing that?
Yeah.
When did we stop that?
How come that's not in the news?
Why can't we have a bunch of wives?
Well, some people still do that.
Yeah, Mormons.
Other people do that
Other
too.
people, yeah.
What's that show, Sister Wives?
Ooh.
What's a thing?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
You
I
haven't
know
seen that?
I've never
watched
seen it. I've
twice.
seen like internet stuff on it,
Yeah.
memes and shit, or like heard other people talk about it. Doesn't sound like my kind of thing.
Do you watch reality shows?
No, I don't. Do I watch reality shows? No, not
The
really.
only stuff I really watch is like Too Hot to Handle.
It's too curated for me.
Yeah.
Like especially because I've actually met people and know some people who have been on reality shows, and they're like, it's not what you're seeing is not what's happening. Like they said, this one person in particular was like 60% of that is not true, or it's just moved around to look like it's true, or they'll ask you a question just to get an answer out of you, and it's like it's just not really real. So. And I think like you can tell that too just by watching those shows.
Yeah.
They're like, this isn't real, but so it's probably why I don't really watch them, because I know it's mostly fake.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so like I said, it's so curated to just get you like into it that I feel betrayed almost. It's like, don't fucking tell me how to feel or watch something. Like, it's kind of offensive, right? When they're just like, what's gonna happen next time? And then you get to next time and nothing happens. It's just like, oh. That big blow up that they were teasing was really just someone saying, shut up. And that's it. And the person's like, all right.
So what happened? I was just really taken by what she said. Because they make them interview
Oh, yeah, the
to
talking
talk
heads.
about whatever happened. Yeah.
The talking heads, and they have the dramatic music playing in the background. You're like,
I'm just going to talk to
Sucks.
Cynthia and I'm going to see where it goes from here.
And then it shows Cynthia like,
Breaking up.
yeah.
I don't want to talk to you. I can't.
That's Love Island, the British one?
Yeah, what's Love Island? But I watched Too Hot to Handle.
Okay, that's also
Because
British.
Like they get people from different backgrounds,
Planets.
countries,
Yeah.
planets, yeah, planets. And because I like that one because they're like all very promiscuous.
Okay,
And the
those
whole-
ones they're all
yeah.
hot too, right?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
all
it's
hot.
Too hot to handle.
So they're supposed to not touch each other on this. And I'm like, you people can't do that. That was me throughout high school. I'm so good at not touching someone.
You just throw a bunch
could,
of
like,
jungle
teach them
cats
how to
together,
do
and you're
this,
like,
yeah.
don't eat anything.
Yeah, look, this is Jesus camp.
Oh my
That's all that
God.
the show becomes. And yeah, it's just so funny because they'll be so promiscuous, but then once they know that like those are the rules,
Yeah.
they're like, "You're mine, and you will marry me.
Oh my
You will
God.
marry me on this show." Even though they would never do that in real life.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I'm not watching that.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. So we're heading towards the end here.
Here we are.
It's not anything bad,
Mm-hmm.
but this is the last time we're recording in this studio.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be around. So we have to find someplace new, which we already have, but it will be our first time there, so who knows how it's going to go. Yeah, just kind of sucks. This is where we got started.
This is where we've been
This is where
consistent,
it happened.
and I'm very grateful for producer Daniel.
Yeah, producer Daniel.
He's the man. Very
He-
good podcast studios.
Yeah.
They were very good.
Which, if you don't know, that's what it's called. Very good podcast studio. Yeah, it just kind of sucks. This was a cool
Mm.
spot, and now we got to find someplace new. Well, we found someplace new, but now we have to try out someplace new, and who knows what that's going to be like,
Yeah,
or who the people running it are going to be like.
this was so nice. He had all these buttons. Do you want to press
Yeah.
the buttons? Oh, there it is.
That's one of them
One of the buttons. Oh,
that we never used.
yeah.
So I don't think this is going to affect production really. About weekly. This is going to get weekly episodes out. Hopefully,
Yeah.
So hopefully that other place is great. Now we can figure it out.
Mhm.
We've got mics. We'll make it happen.
We could do this.
I'm not worried.
Do this anywhere.
I do this anywhere, bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and close out for today.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for tuning in again. Hope to see you guys next week. And
Thank you, Podience.
thank you, Podience.
Thank you, producer Daniel.
Thank you, producer Daniel. See you guys next time.
Goodbye. How long is the song?
It goes on for a while.